To say that writing a book is hard is an understatement. Because I know that for me and for many of you, it can actually sometimes feel like you are Sisyphus, the Greek myth of Sisyphus, who was doomed to eternally roll a boulder up a hill, only to have it roll back down again and have to start all over again. But when my first book was published, my memoir, I learned that there is another passage that you have to go through, which for me and many people sharing a difficult story can feel just as trying, if not more, than writing the book. And that is being seen. Because once you publish a book, especially a memoir, you you can't hide anymore. And for someone like me who spent most of my life trying to be invisible, the prospect of this is it's almost unbearable. So although I was proud and happy um, that I had a book coming out and that my book was published, and I was relieved to free myself of this story. Because of the book's subject matter, I did struggle to bring it into the world with any sense of revelry or celebration. It just felt wrong, and I wasn't ready to have my life looked at too closely, even though I did write the book because I knew the story needed to be told and I believed it could help other people. And yet, what I had come to understand in the process of writing the book is that, of course, a memoir isn't about just about what happened. It's about what you made of what happened. We write memoirs because we've lived through something that's given us an embodied expertise, that kind of knowing that only life can carve into you. Memoir is about the transformation that you went through. You could reframe it as being about the wisdom that you earned. It's the universal told through the unmistakable lens that is you. Um, a quote that I always say from one of my mentors is there are no unique messages, only unique messengers. And so you, with all of your history, your contradictions, your scars, your wounds, your gifts, you are the only messenger for your story. And what I didn't understand was that despite the subject matter of my book, the celebration was in the offering of the transformation. It was like this bridge that helped other people recognize themselves and climb out of their own darkness. So in some way, our stories are never entirely ours, are they? And I also learned that you can't really access those kinds of stories through discipline alone. You access through deep listening and grounding, and also by having a space where you can confront the truths, that you feel safe enough for those truths to come up. And that was the missing piece for me when I started out. And it's the missing piece I see for so many brilliant writers who have a story to tell and feel that they're stuck because of talent or discipline. And it isn't only that, maybe they're stuck because they've never had a space where they could allow their truth to arise safely. And when I wrote my book, Never Make a Sound, I didn't do it entirely alone. I had a healer, I had a mentor, I had a circle of writers who showed me the way to find my voice. And through that experience, I learned something that I didn't even know to look for. And that was, when you have a story to tell, you want to tell it in a book, you gather the right people around you to help you birth that story into the world, that book into the world, because it is such a difficult task. And this is something that I dive very, very deeply into in my masterclass that I taught last month called Set Your Story Free. And I really did not expect the communion that came through, the level of I had, it was such an emotional transformation. I felt just being able to bring writers into that room and create that space where they could feel that safety to even begin to consider exploring their own stories. And we ended up creating this very tender, cathartic space that was very healing for me in the end. It was so powerful. If you are interested in watching the replay, simply comment on this post with the word story or DM me the word story to receive the replay, which I highly recommend. And tomorrow night, I'm actually teaching a follow-up masterclass about moving your story into the world. It's a deeper and more intimate roadmap for transforming that fear into freedom. And I'll be sharing the exact steps that I took to help me go from hiding in shame to actually standing in my own light, in the light of my story. So, if you are feeling something inside you that wants more space, I invite you to join me in holding that space with you. So, comment the word story, and I'll send you the replay and details for the masterclass tomorrow.